Okay, am I on? Gary, you're watching. Hi. Okay, so you know, Facebook could drive you crazy. So I just want you to know that I like to have the my phone going this way, so I'm not skinny like this. But if I have it that way, it looks sideways to you. So they're making me have the phone like this. Now, that's not the way it used to be. I mean, last week it worked fine, but I had the same problem this morning with Facebook Live with Merle, Monday morning with Merle and Patty. Today, it's Merle's Pearls. It's 8 o'clock at night, unless you're not on Pacific time. And then it's another time. But today, look, I've been married over 50 years. That is extraordinary. I mean, that is totally extraordinary because I'm barely 35. I must have doubled up. I mean, it's a leap year, so what can I tell you? So, so I know a few things about relationship. And one of them is our topic for the day. Should you sit down together for dinner meals? Now, here's the quick answer. The quick answer is there is no should. Everybody's relationship is different. Everybody's life is different. And what fits into one life doesn't necessarily fit into another life. So there's that. However, if you were looking for a way to be or not to be, and you hadn't, and you have some space in your life to make some decisions, I will say, I am saying that I recommend eating at least one meal a day with your family. Actually, if your family is your partner, good. If your family is your partner and your cat, that's okay. Or your dog, or your kids. How do the kids get to be last? Because my kids are grown up and out of the house. That's how come. Um, yes, I was frankly I was raised in a house where I'm trying to think of, I don't remember, lunch, we were at school or whatever. But dinner, we sat down for dinner. In fact, my father was a pharmacist. Duh, I married a man who was a pharmacist, but at least he's a pharmacist who is also an artist, and you can see his California in the background. Um, so I grew up in a house where we sat down to dinner. And so I was telling you, my father was a pharmacist, and his store was open. He had a neighborhood pharmacy at Large and Sanger in Philadelphia, and it was open from 10 in the morning until 11 at night. So he would, I'm trying to think if he ever closed. I don't know if he ever closed for dinner, but I know when I was a young prepubescent and young teenager, uh, that by that time my brother and I would take turns. He must have closed the store earlier. I mean, when we were younger. I don't know, but I know that we sat down together for dinner. And it seemed natural, and we had conversations. And actually, this is what's it. Talk about what I remember. Excuse me, I'm going to cough like crazy in a second because it feels like I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. It's not the virus. It's it's the sinus, which is close. Um, so what was I saying? I was saying we sat down for dinner, and my parents would talk, and we would listen a lot and add our couple words. It was my brother, who was 4 years older than me, so it was the four of us. And I learned my vocabulary, my big words, I learned from sitting at the dinner table. And I remember I have a friend, a good friend, when I was already in college, and she was a great reader, but then she would use words and they were mispronounced, and I'd correct her or whatever. But what I realized was that she learned the words reading. So she didn't learn how to pronounce them, although she could have looked that up. But I had a familiarity and a comfort with the words because I heard them in my house at the dinner table. And you know, there's a lot of things that you do when you're a kid. And there's a lot of habits or customs that your family has when you're a kid that you don't necessarily want to have when you grow up. It just doesn't fit, or you don't like it, or life moves on and different things seem more appropriate. And I got married to my husband, and we were able to have the custody of his two children, who were 14 and 9 when they came to live with us. And then our son was born a couple of years later. And I said, this is I know a good habit. And a good habit is to sit down at the dinner table and with everybody and eat and talk. And we continued to do that through my married life. And in fact, today, so I have to tell you, so there's just the two of us. We've been married over 50 years. You know, we could really take each other for granted. But what's the point? What's the point of taking someone for granted? Anyway, so we sit down at the dinner table. It's in the kitchen, and it's not our fanciest dishes, but the table is set with a napkin and a fork and a knife and a matching plate, and we would have candles to have a little atmosphere, but Nathan just does not do candles. He does not like candles. So instead, we have a rheostat. Is that the right word? On the lights, and we turn the lights down low. In fact, we can't do it with the ceiling light, so we have a lamp in our kitchen, which I think is really kooky, but I like it. And we just modulate the light to be a little romantic. And this is our time when we have inconsequential conversation. It doesn't matter what the conversation's about, really. It can be what we did that day. It can be talking about the politics today. It can be talking about not SARS. What is it? The coronavirus. Whatever. Or Nathan will say, "What's our schedule for tomorrow? Do I have an appointment?" Or so whatever the conversation is, it's nothing that you need to quick listen to so you'll learn something brilliant. It's just I can't explain to you how important the value of not momentous conversation, but conversation that connects people together. And my son comes over and we'll have dinner and we'll do the same thing. We just have a conversation about whatever the conversation's about. But it's a connection. It's a heart to heart with another person. And I think that you can text all you want, and I think texting has its place. I don't get me wrong. There's sometimes I don't need to say talk to you. I can just write it down. Boom, boom, boom. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I don't need to talk to you to hear that. But at dinner, at some time in your life, at some time every daily, whoever, have somebody else in your life that you live with, that you don't live with, that you can connect with on a regular basis. If you have a partner, if you live with somebody, that's a really good time to do it. And it's not because he happened to be there, she happened to be there. It's because you expect each other to be there. You plan for it. You want each other. Whoever cooks, if you bring the food in from, have it delivered, however you do it. And if you have it delivered, by the way, still put out plates. Although sometimes we just eat out. Sometimes we go and we don't get things delivered, but we do go and get stuff and bring it back sometimes. But I just can't impress with you how I think it's important to take that one time, to be intentional in your life, to be intentional. I'm the relationships expert. Be intentional with your relationships. One easy way, for most people, it may not be, it's not true in everyone's life, but for most people, one easy way is to have a dinner that you have together with the other people in your family that you live with. Hi, Gary. Thank you, Gary. If anybody has a different thought about this, oh my goodness, write to me, write it underneath. Tell me I'm baloney. Tell me I'm brilliant. Add your own story. I'm interested to hear if I connect and how I connect to your life, to the thoughts that you have right now. But you're gonna have to write it after I go because I have nothing else to say. So I'm leaving. But first, my commercial. There's Cracking the Relationship Code in the background. Oh, and Valentine Relationship Book. Totally adorable, quick. You will finish it in an hour and a half, and it's brilliant and fun. And I would like it if you would go to relationshipmiracleworker.com and get the free gift and put your name on my mailing list. That would be really lovely. And you can like this. That's also nice. But remember, relationshipmiracleworker.com. You can order the books from my from relationshipmiracleworker.com. You can order either, but it'll take you to Amazon. But I'll get credit that it went through me. What else do I have to say? I think that's it. Tune in next week, next Monday in the morning at 11 in the morning Pacific time. It's Monday Morning with Merle and Patty. We are a hoot. We're so adorable. But truly, I am a relationship expert. truly, Patty is an expert. She's a psychic and a medium, and she has good relationship advice as well. And we have a good time together. So Monday morning with Merle and Patty, and Monday evening, the same time, next Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific for Merle's Pearls. I've been married over 50 years. I must know something about relationship. That's it. Have a great day and a great evening. A meal together is really good. Amen. Take care, everybody. Bye.